Yesterday, I had a real life example of how some white people will just be racist and they can't help it because it's so embedded in their DNA and how they were raised. Example, okay. The other day, I had jury duty. And, with jury duty, they send a bunch of people notices, right? And so the machine randomly, while we're there, machine randomly calls up 12 people. And so while the 12 are sitting in the jury booth during voir dire, which is when they both attorneys question and see if they want to keep which jurors. And there were 3 Caucasian women. And you can never judge a book by its cover, but I'm in the South. And I've been able to just identify when someone just looks like they racist as hell. And they had that look. So it just so happened, during this period of voir dire, the defendant was there. He was a black male, probably in his 40s, maybe his 30s or 40s. And then, of course, the arresting officer was there, a white male. So the attorneys, of course, questioned the jurors to make sure who wants to keep them and who doesn't. These 3 white women, all 3, grew up in police families, grew up with either spouses or brothers and sisters that were officers. And so every last one of them, whenever the attorneys, both the prosecutor and defendant, would ask them, so are you saying that you cannot look at my client as innocent until proven guilty like the law requires? And they legit said, no, I cannot, because I will always side with law enforcement. I'm not lying to you. This is what they said. And I'm thinking, I did not want to have to serve as one of the 12, but part of me was hoping that I'd be selected so that this brother could at least have a fair chance. Now, I'm not saying I would have agreed with him because, again, point of law is everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And it is the burden of the state bringing the case to prove that this individual, within a reasonable doubt, is guilty. But these 3 white women could not get past it, y'all. They kept saying, honestly, I will always, and so the defense attorney says, so you're saying to me, you cannot look at my client and say he's innocent until proven guilty. And they were like, no, I just can't, because no matter what, I will always side with officers. And that right there showed me that is why so many black males, black people, period, are in jail, found guilty for crimes they probably did not even commit, or gotten harder sentences because of white racist jurors. When you are a juror, your job is to know by facts that all you are is a blank sheet of paper. And when you're in that courtroom, that is up to the defense and the prosecutors to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. And you are to fill that paper with facts only. Not with your preconceived notions, not with your racist rhetoric, not with what you were raised with, not even the fact that your husband was a cop. Go based on the evidence. But these people did racism and prejudice so entrenched in their DNA that they couldn't even do that. And thank God the defense attorney petitioned the court and the judge obliged and said, yes, we are releasing these 3, because the brother would not have stood a fair chance. Now I'm wondering to myself, had that not been a black man in court and seeing he was black and it was a white female, what would they have said? I'm just curious. But I said all that to say this, y'all. It is so many. I was just sickened. I was sickened to my stomach sitting there listening to these 3 white women pontificate. We were in there for a day and a half just trying for them to select the jury. Thank God they finally got a 12 and an alternate, a 13th person who seemed like they were able to listen and view the facts of the case and not judge just because a police officer. And I'm not anti-police, because there are some amazing police officers and there's some real cruddy bullshit need to go to hell police officers too, both black and white. Okay. So at the end of the day, this is what we're dealing with in America. Some people just won't learn. Some people don't want to learn. Some people don't want to change. So my advice to any of you all, black or white, if you are called to serve on a jury, look at only the facts. Don't judge the person, what they look like. Even if there's a white person or a black person, Latino, whatever. Just listen to the facts, and let the prosecutor do his or her job and prove. The burden of proof is on the state or whoever's bringing the case beyond a reasonable doubt that that person is or innocent or guilty.